Audio Jungle.
All right, and there we go. Got a couple weird hiccups with the old internet and stuff. Well, not internet, but just little technical things. But anyways, welcome everybody. Silly Spirit Duels here, back with another video. So today, just on the agenda, before I start rambling off into the internets, we are going to talk about Noble Knights, which I put out a little teaser video of. We're going to go through some duel replays on that. Going to talk about the state of the meta post ban list, just what I feel on it. Obviously, it's going to be my own personal opinions. So as you can see right here, I'm king of games. So the way I climbed was with Noble Knights. The deck is in the top right. I'm going to point backwards. Yeah, top right. So yeah, Noble Knights. It's a new structure deck that came out, I want to say 2 weeks ago. And what a deck. Now, personally, I got a little bit tilted because I owned a lot of the Noble Knight cards prior. I was a Noble Knight player way back in the day with my draw and stuff. And, you know, it was a pretty good deck here and there. It was like a fringe deck. It was very good at getting over Cocytus. Used to run stuff like Morchlog, which would reduce Cocytus's defense, and you would beat over it. What else? I mean, it's been pretty niche. It lost very hard to Cosmic Cyclone. It lost bad to Floodgate, Canadia, just basic trap interruption. And I decided to climb prior to the ban list to see how viable this deck was. Now, I would say be warned in a way that, you know, a lot of people don't know how to play against this deck yet, I guess, in a way, because some people are making bad plays by, like, destroying your equip spells, but they have effects where if they're destroyed, they get re-equipped, or they're cosmic cycloning your equip spells, just little things like that. Now, let's go into the deck here, and then I will discuss replays. Oh, that is super loud in my... Whoa! That is super loud in my headphones. All right. So, here's the deck. So, I'm running a balance build, 30 cards. We'll start with the equip spells because they're a little bit quicker to explain. So we have, so overall with all the equip spells, they have a kind of secondary effect besides what they do when they're equipped. So their secondary effect is when they're destroyed, you can re-equip them to a Noble Knight monster, and that's once per turn. So you got to keep that in mind, because sometimes you do have to pop your own stuff, and you have to kind of track which equip got popped on what turn, because it is only once per turn. So we'll start off with our Durfer. I have never been able to pronounce this word. So our Durfer, with this card, you can equip it, and you lose 200 attack, but then you get to pop a set card, and that's back row or monster effects, or monster cards, which is really nice. So that's our Durfer. We have Caliburn. This one, you gain 500 attack, and you can trigger it to gain 500 life. You have Gallatin. This is just a big stat stick. It's 1,000 attack, but you lose 200 attack every one of your standby phases. And then we're running double of Destiny. This one once per turn. If your monster would be destroyed by battle card effects, it protects it for one turn. So that's that. Now, another thing to note with the Noble Knight cards is that these effects can trigger more than once if they re-equip, which is kind of handy. So that's the pretty much the equip cards. You have your quick play spell, Glory the Noble Knights here, that it just equips a Noble Knight with a equip spell from your deck. Very handy on certain matchups. So let's say like a lot of people run Ballista Squad and Regeki Break. So one of your starters would draw it. They might try to pop it before you equip. So you can chain the Glory and then equip the Destiny to it and protect him, and then get your combo going. So yeah, so that's the quick play spell in a nutshell. Hate Your Nade, I'm running it because of back row hate. There's a lot of back row in the meta right now. Desperado, you have the newer versions of Sure and Nui run a lot of traps now. So, well, actually, I think they're running about the same count. I think it's like an 8 to 12 ratio as far as like monsters to traps. So Hate Your Nade's really good. This card could be swapped with a bunch of different stuff. You can run Forbidden Lance. Since it is like a semi-limit, you could probably run Enemy Controller, or if you want to play like really, really lame, you could probably run Kiteroid. I wouldn't probably suggest Kiteroid. I think Hate Your Nade's just a better card overall. It really helps to, because your starters have to be face up and you have to activate them. So Hate Your Nade is essential, and like I said, Forbidden Lance as well. We're playing one Canadia. It comes up here and there. I just like having it. It's disruption. So everyone probably knows what Canadia does. I'll explain the other card that everyone kind of knows. Ultimate Providence. I'm running 3 of these. Since I am running a balance build, usually there's a good chance that you can set this and have like a trap monster and spell in hand and just negate. It essentially turns into an Omni Negate. And since it's a counter trap, a lot of people don't expect it. A lot of decks can't react to it when you negate something, so it's pretty handy. You just sometimes need that one negate to shut off stuff. And even if you look at like the TCG builds of Noble Knights, it's just a negate deck essentially. But they play Ignoble Knights, which are the fire versions. And then we have the new trap card from the structure deck. So I had to get the structure deck even though I owned most of these cards already. But the 4 like big ones were like Merlin, the trap, and the 2 Xyz monsters. So onto the trap. So for one, this also counts as a Noble Arms card, which when I go into like explaining combos and stuff, it matters. So this card is treated the same as your equips. All right. So this one here, so when you set it and you activate it while it's set, you can excavate. So that means you like flip the top cards of your deck up to the number of equip spells you have. So 1 to 2 usually, and then you add one of those cards and then you put the other one on top of your deck. So it gives you a good kind of insight on what your upcoming plays are. Its secondary effect is really good. So you can banish it from the graveyard, and then you can special summon a Noble Knight that you don't have on the field or in your graveyard. So usually, if you don't open up Dristan's going to be like your go-to most of the time for, it's going to be your target most of the time for its banish effect, because Dristan can pop cards. But it's really good to get like it pretty much floats into other Noble Knights that you might need. So that's the trap card in a nutshell. Now you can't activate the second effect the turn you send it. So typically when you are running this deck, you want to activate this on your opponent's turn or dump it right away, and then like use the banish effect after. All right. And then we'll go explain the other new cards, and then I'll explain the old ones, and we'll go into some replays. So we have Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorigius. I don't know. Whatever. He's a rank 5. Requires 2 rank 5 or 2 level 5 Noble Knight monsters, which not hard to do. Usually your way to get it is going to be through Madrot and Boris together, or like Madrot and Lancelin, or like, whatever. So he, you detach one material, you pop a monster face up or face down, and then if it's destroyed if it's sent to the graveyard, not even destroyed. So if this is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Noble Knight monster from your graveyard, which is pretty handy. And then, like I was saying, these cards kind of float once per turn and re-equip to Noble Knight monsters. So, yeah, pretty nice. We're playing 2 of regular King Argatorius. So we have Sacred and regular. So the regular one, he pops back row up to the number of Noble Knight equip cards you have. So usually 1 to 2 cards. It's pretty rare you're going to pop 3 and have 3 equips. That's kind of like the thing with this deck, is that you don't want to have 3 equips out most of the time. You want to have that extra spot on your spell and trap zone just to place something like Canadia or like your Ultimate Providence. All right. This card here, Tyrius, I have never, ever, ever summoned, ever. I just put it in here because I thought it was like a good tech. I guess it would be good against something like I don't know. There's not really a good time to play this over your other Noble Knights, to be honest. But it is immune to card destruction, and it can pop a card after it attacks or is attacked and survives. So it's not bad. This card here, Vylon de Sigma, this is like non-targeting removal. I've summoned this maybe twice in the last 30 games, and I've used this against Blue Eyes. I've just sucked up their Blue Eyes monster. So you can detach and suck up a monster, a face-up, attack position, effect monster. It's very specific. So you attach it, and then at the start of the damage step, you can destroy monsters with the same attribute as monsters that you have sucked up. So this thing can suck up three monsters if you want. I learned the hard way with this card because I did there was a game, I want to say when I was in like Platinum, where I sucked up 2 Aroma Mages, and then he had the fire one out, but I thought it was the same type, but it's actually the same attribute where you destroy at the start of the damage step. So he comes up here and there. He is a little bit harder to bring out because you do need 3 level 4s, but he has a pretty good effect. And then we're playing 1 Diamond Dire Wolf. I think this card is probably the second most as far as like Xyz monsters that I summoned. Typically, you just overlay 2 level 4s, pop a card, clear something out, which also will go into when I explain the rest of the Noble Knight cards. If you're not familiar with them, they this pairs really well with Madrat and Merlin. So on to the rest of the deck. Now these are older cards that actually one more, Merlin. So Merlin, this is like a if you're familiar with Cristrons, it's like a Crystron tuner where they can special summon on your opponent's turn, but this one's a little bit better. It can special summon on your turn as well, which can come up here and there. So you special summon a Noble Knight, and then its secondary effect, you can banish it to synchro summon or Xyz summon using monsters on your field. Pretty good. So essentially Merlin and Madrat are your starters, and let's get into the rest of the deck. So Madrat, he's an old card. I remember before Xyz came out, I think I had posted the video about some potential future cards, and this was one of them. So this guy here, he's a rank 4 and rank 5 making machine. So when he's alone on the field and you have an equip spell to him, you can special summon a Noble Knight from your deck. So usually you're gonna special summon Boris. And after you special summon, he pops the equip card equipped to him. So what you're gonna do is, maybe I'll just like play a practice game before I do this. But yeah, so you use him to bring out Boris. Boris, when he's equipped with a equip spell, you can show 3 Noble Arms cards. So you have this. You can show this one, and then like this one, and you reveal 3 of them, and then you add 1, you dump the other 2. Typically, what you're going to do with Boris when he's out is you're going to show 2 of these, and then most of the time, you're going to show this one off. Sometimes when you open up with Gwynethar, you're going to have to show one of these other ones. I wouldn't suggest dumping 3 traps. I think the draw effect is pretty powerful as well. So yeah. The other thing too that are kind of synonymous with these guys together is that when they're equipped, they become dark and level 5. So that's how you can alter their levels very easily. Okay, Dristan, very simple. When you equip them with a Noble Arms card, pop a face-up card. Very easy. All right. So then we have Lancelin. Essentially, most of the time, he's just a vanilla 2000 attacker. But he's also level 5, and he's a different name. Because this card specifically, you have to, in order to use its banish effect, you have to have a different name that you're going to special summon from the deck. So if you have like this and this in the graveyard or on the field, your only targets are going to be like Dristan, Lancelin, and the brothers. Okay. Speaking of the brothers, we're playing two of them. So they have two effects. One of them, well, actually, they have three effects, but most of the time you're going to use two of them. So the first effect, when you normal summon it, you can special summon Noble Knights from your hand. Okay. And then for the rest of the turn, you can't special summon anything but Noble Knights. So that's the first effect. So you can, if you open up brothers, you can special summon this guy or even this guy. Well, actually, I forgot about Lancelin's other effects. So you contribute a Noble Knight to add a equip spell from your deck to your hand. The other effect that it has is that if you have a face-up light normal monster on the field, you can special summon it from your hand or graveyard. So these two are normal monsters without equips. So you can do that. The nice thing about Lancelin also is that, let's say like your Madrot gets floodgated, you can tribute him off with Lancelin and get an equip spell. So that's pretty handy. And then on to the secondary effect of brothers. And then I'll briefly explain the third one. So the secondary effect, you can shuffle 3 Noble Knights cards from your deck into the graveyard and draw 1 card. And then its other effect that's kind of garbage is it can attack unless you have 2 other Noble Knights on the field. But typically you're just using this to special summon something else. I don't think I've ever swung ever with this. I've always used the shuffle effect or the special summon effect. I think that's everything. Okay. Now on to the rest of this here. Oh, actually, I got to change. Give me a second. I had to change the title for the old Twitch. And I'll turn on the music, I guess. I don't know. It's an early day. There we go. So that's the deck in its entirety. I would say that this deck is pretty flexible as far as like what you want to run. I personally like Ultimate Providence with this balance build. You could probably cut these for Karma Cut. I wouldn't suggest let's look at some other traps. Ballista Squad might be okay. Fiendish Chain I probably wouldn't run just because it can block one of your spell and trap zones. I've seen a lot of people playing freaking head judging just in random decks. It's so annoying. I didn't realize how annoying it is. Yeah, Karma Cut, bad aim, Brigeki Break, this card that makes people quit. Usually with Chain Disappearance, like if you pop this on something, people usually just go AFK after. You could probably run like Floodgate and Canadia and all those things if you'd like as well. The deck is pretty flexible. There's a lot of different builds for Noble Knights, which is cool. Some people aren't running the big old 30 card variant. Some people are running like My Monster cards. I've seen Spell Specialist, Destiny Draw, everything. All right, let's go into replays. This is my favorite part. This is where I'm going to try to cast what's going on. And, yeah. Try to not look stupid while I'm doing it. All right, let's get some water first. All right, so it looks like we're going first. All right, so we're playing against another balanced build. And now I know this duel in particular, it didn't go very far, but we're going to start off with Merlin. We're going to tribute for Madrot. We're going to activate our quick play spell to equip a equip. Now, most of the time, you can go 2 ways with what you choose to equip if you're going first. I personally like Destiny just because it adds a little bit more protection, but you can also go the 500 life gain one if you're kind of scared also. It also makes your guys a little bit big. So So we're going to go here, reveal 2 traps, get Gwennifer. Oh, I didn't even explain Gwennifer. Wow. Excuse me. So Gwennifer is probably your best equip. So this one you can equip from the hand or the graveyard once per turn. And you get 300 attack, and then depending on the attribute of the monster, you get one of these 2 effects. So light, if it would be destroyed by a card effect, it essentially is like Destiny. Dark, you can destroy stuff at the start of the damage step. So that's why it's your best equip. You only play 1 just because you can keep pulling it out over and over. One of the other things I forgot to mention, which because it's early and I'm making excuses, is that your Xyz monsters, when they're summoned, now that remember it says when, you can target equip spells and equip them. The only one you can't re-equip is Gwennifer. So opening up here, we're gonna start with depending on if I know the matchup or not, will depend on if I Xyz summon or not. Because you have Merlin to Xyz summon whenever, you don't always have to Xyz summon on your first turn right away if you open up with Merlin, because Merlin can allow your Noble Knights to kind of get around like Karma Cut and Ballista Squad and stuff, so it's pretty handy. So at the end of his turn here, we're gonna banish our Noble Arms trap here, bring out the brothers. Okay, we're gonna use brothers effect to shuffle some cards in the deck here just to get another card going. We're gonna bring out Dristan. We're gonna go for the OTK here. We're gonna Ultimate Providence that Drowning Mirror Force, and then just to BM me, he makes me wait 2 minutes. All right, on to this one. Ooh, it is so early today. Overall with this deck, I went probably from Legend, well actually like Plat 3 to King of Games. I think I lost maybe 2 matches. Now it could be due to people not familiar with the deck. It could be due to just I'm a good player, I don't know. So anyways, we're doing Caliburn here. We're gonna get our 500 life. We're gonna pop, put it on Boars, get another 500 life because it's not once per turn. Every time you equip, you re-equip, you can do it. So same thing, we're gonna reveal the 2 traps and Gwennifer, equip Gwennifer here. We're going to rank 5 because we want to pop with the Deskbot monsters. We don't want to swing over 4 because 4 can make himself really, really big on the damage step. So we're just going to pop him with our Sacred Knight here. All right, we're going to swing in for 27 here. We set Ultimate Providence and we set another of the traps. We're going to negate this Deskbot 03 so that way he can't Synchro Summon. He's going to use his machine assembly line to bring out his Deskbot 004. He's going to use its effect to make himself really big. 4 is going to bring out, let's see here. What does 4 bring out? So since Dristan is going to get equipped, we're going to pop a monster. We're going to use our trap to add a card. We're going to use Brothers to shuffle some cards back into the deck. Draw another card. We're going to get that Caliburn gain. We're going to go into Diamond Direwolf here. And this is why I said Direwolf is really good here. So Madrat's special summon effect can only happen if it's the only monster on field. Alright, so we're going to equip, add some life. We're going to Direwolf, pop a card, Madrat out our level 5 here. Our 2000 beater. We're going to another Argatorius here. Pop this other card here after equipping. And then swing in. We set a Canadia. Wasn't necessary. Alright. One of the real cheeky plays that you can do with like Merlin and the trap card is you can Synchro Summon on your opponent's turn and special summon a Dristan out to equip spells to Dristan and pop a card on their turn. So that's pretty damn powerful. especially if you put up a negate as well. It's pretty nutty. All right. So we open up Madrat here again. We're playing against Aroma Mages. Now, this is like a 300 IQ play that I'm going to show right here. Now, typically, I know with Aroma Mages, they like to run the counter trap that like negates normal summons here. So he's going to use Solemn Scolding. Pop our card. We don't really care. We got Ultimate Providence. He's going to do his Aroma Mages stuff, like chain 10 things. Swings in for 19, not a big deal. We're going to bring out our Madrat. At this point here, I know that Madrat is going to be pretty safe. They don't really run Canadia. They run the continuous traps. So, not a big deal. So, we're going to start activating our Madrat stuff. Bring out Driston. Now, the reason why we're bringing out Driston as opposed to Boris here is that with Aroma Mages, their spells and traps are very, very good in like supplementing their monsters. So we want to remove all that before we start swinging in. It's kind of like a waste to do that, to like swing into their monsters when they have like the field spell up, because they're getting 1,000 life. This thing gains you life. This thing can also special summon stuff from the deck. Like, we just don't want any part of that. They could have like the trap card that freaking pops cards. Like, we don't want to mess with that. So we're gonna equip 2 here, and then we're gonna probably gain some life, and then we're gonna detach and destroy these 2 last back row, and we're gonna just set the Providence and tell him your turn. So he has another Aroma Garden here. All right. So we're going to gain some life. We're going to pop some more back row here. We're going to counter that Ultimate Providence. The nice thing too here with like the regular Argatorius is that this doesn't target. So you see here, destroy any number of spell and trap cards. So even though he activates this and I counter this, because originally when I was going to, because I remember this duel, I was going to pop this card and leave the field spell up. But since I'm countering this, now I can hit his field spell and his other set card. And then we're going to swing it again. Pretty much we just ran him out of everything. We can just go in for the lethals. So the way I'm playing this deck is more of like a control variant. I'm not really trying to... I mean, you can do some insane damage with this deck. You can easily pull 8,000 damage if you want with this deck, but I want to just get my little hits in here and there and just run them out of resources. That's essentially what I want to do. All right, so we got Merlin, which is awesome. We went first. Merlin going first is pretty insane. So we're gonna start with our Destiny, going on my drop play here. You know, this is just the prime combo here. Boars, Reveal 2, and Gwennifer. Right? Okay. We're going to equip Gwennifer to our Madrat. Now, see, on this turn here, as you can probably already see, I'm playing against Cyber Dragons. Now, most of the time, they're going to open up their trap. And, so, let's see. Most of the time, they're going to open up their trap. And so when you go back to your turn, they're going to pop stuff. So I didn't want to do anything quite yet. I do have Destiny up. And, you know, even if he tries to swing in with like a, I don't know. What the hell is that thing called? They're like fusion that pops back row. He's going to make... Oh, he goes Overload Fusion. Okay. Makes, oh, there you go, Rampage Dragon. So he makes Rampage Dragon. He's gonna pop my back row here. We're gonna activate so in response to this, we're gonna activate our Noble Arms. Now since this is gonna get destroyed, it can re-equip to Driston. We're just gonna re-equip Driston here, pop that monster. Now we have a bunch of level 4s here. We're gonna go to Gallatin, just equip a bunch of stuff. Now as you can see here, we have, what is this, like 6,500 damage here, But we actually have more than that because of Merlin in the graveyard. So Merlin could have put these two dudes together, made our rank 5, and then re-equipped this thing, make him 3,200. So we had like 9,000 damage, almost 10,000. And this was lethal even if he had Kite Void. So pretty cool. So this one here, this is a clan duel. So I am in like a Duel Links clan, and so I thought this was this was kind of like a, this is a very, well, this is a scrimmage match, but it was a pretty intense rivalry that we have with this clan in particular. And this is a nice little win that I got here. So we opened up with Madrat. We're going to equip our Noble Arms Destiny, do our typical play. Same thing as usual. Reveal 2 on Gwennifer. Equip Gwen. Going our rank 5 here. Now the reason, like I said, there's reasons why I'll go into rank 5 immediately as opposed to not. Now typically I will go into the rank 5 if I go first right away, if I feel like they're going to if they're not really going to do much on their turn, because this essentially, when you start your turn again, you can just pop a card and not worry about getting floodgated or Canadia'd, because some people don't have their like little chain thing on all the time. So you can pop most of the time when it goes back to your turn. Okay, so he's playing Super Heavy Samurai. We're going to activate our trap card here just to draw a card. He's going to do a Super Heavy Samurai stuff. Make this thing. Got double. So he's going to put double Foodus in the graveyard to do a double protection banish thing. He's going to go into his rank 5 here, but we're going to negate it. There we go. Just to stop him from climbing up into his level 7. Then we're going to add our Lancelin here. We got Merlin. So we're going to go into Madrat here. We're going to equip to Madrat with our Gwen. So that's why, like I said, Gwen is very, very powerful because it just keeps re-equipping over and over. So here we have 6,200 damage. So he would have to have exactly double Kite Void to not die. So he has a 1. We're going to swing in. We're going to swing in. We're going to swing in. We're going to use Merlin to go into our Sacred Noble Knight here and swing in. So he had like 8,000 damage. Like 8,400 damage. So you can do insane damage with this deck. It's not impossible. Oh yeah. All right. What is this one? I don't even know. We'll see what he's playing. And then after the replays, I'll discuss just some meta stuff. We'll go on the sellout website, duellinksmeta.com, and look at stuff. So this one here isn't a really good hand. This is a pretty awful hand here. So you have Brothers, which doesn't do much outside of like special summoning. You got your vanilla 2000 attacker, but we do have, you know, our spells in hand. So we're playing against Power Stone. He's gonna floodgate our Brothers here. Now, something I didn't realize till later on dueling is that you can tribute this Noble Knight for an equip, which I didn't realize because I was kind of scared to activate it because I was like on a King of Games run and I wanted to see how long I could go without losing. So I wasn't sure if this would tribute itself for an equip, but it's actually tribute a Noble Knight monster. So anyways, he's gonna go do his annoying stuff. We're just gonna swing in. Easy. I think we set a Canadia. We're just gonna Canadia his master here. We're gonna equip this thing We already have our Durfer, doesn't matter. Easy games. Oh shit. Where am I at? Okay. So right here. And then I'll show off my record, just in case no one believes me. I do have one DC loss on there, so it is what it is. I don't count those. I blame American internet. Alright, we got a pretty good starting hand. We're playing against Goki here. Now Goki likes to play a lot of back row. So we're gonna equip Caliburn. He's gonna Ballista Squad. But we're gonna chain the Glory of the Noble Knights to get Destiny out. Just so we're immune to destruction here. And then Dristan's gonna pop this other freaking Goki thing. Goki might be another deck that everyone plays. Everyone likes playing a lot of back row. And why not play back row with a bunch of cards that float into each other? So we're going to gain 500, swing in for 23. We set our Noble Arms card here. We've got another Goki. We're going to activate Noble Arms here. We're going to probably add that Canadia. Yep. He's going to bad aim us here, which doesn't do anything at all because this is protected. This and this will refloat, which can give us another equip. So we're going to re-equip Destiny because he popped it to Dristan. We're going to pop one of his monsters here. He's going to Tribute to make, what is this? His Twist Cobra really big. We're going to go into Diamond Direwolf here. Again, Diamond Direwolf is really good in this deck. We're going to pop that Twist Cobra, which leaves Madrat open and in the clear because we still have it normal summoned. And then we're going to do our plays, and he just gives up. I changed my name here because it's like a little meme within the Battle of Clans stuff. He's a guy who wears a lot of hats, so I decided to be his hat. Well, look at waifu mirror. A lot of people were saying Cyber Dragon was going to be like the new meta king outside of like Desperado after the ban list. Although this, I am playing pre-ban list here. So we're going to do Boars. We're going to equip our Durfer. We're going to pop a card. He's going to overflow here. We're going to chain the Glory to get Destiny out to protect our Boars. Doesn't matter. Re-equip once per turn. Pop his other back row. It's another overflow. That's gross. We're going to reveal 3. Obviously, we're going to dump the traps. We set our Providence here. Now, I think most people would have made the mistake and put Gwenifire on right away. But I'm going to actually use it as fodder for my Ultimate Providence here for monsters. And it doesn't matter if it goes to the hand or sits in the graveyard. Doesn't matter. So he's going to do his Rampage Dragon stuff. We're going to negate that with Ultimate Providence, dump our Gwen, send that thing to the graveyard. He's going to set a card. We're going to destroy that set card. Bring out our freaking vanilla monster. Going to Argotorius here. And we still haven't special summoned yet. Or normal summoned. We're going to equip Gwen here and just polish him off real easy. Now, with that, what we had there, can I go around this? No. He couldn't really destroy anything there. He might have, if he was able to make like another Chimera tech, he could have popped. Well, he wasn't going to be able to kill us at all. He was kind of dead either way. All right. Oh, yeah. So on to some other pressing news besides this Noble Knight just beat down. So I'll go to my King of the Games here. As you can see, I do have one legit loss against this guy. I don't remember it. And then this one was a DC. So, can't be helped. It happens. I wish it would show like a lot more than just 10 games. But as you can see, the rest, like, that's it. I went probably 30-2 in my run to King of Games with this deck. Some changes I would make. I think the ratios on the extra deck are good. So you do have room for, like, these two can be swapped out with something. I don't know what I would put here instead. I mean, maybe Volcanosaur would be kind of funny. Maybe like this. I don't know. Maybe like that. What else do we have? I don't own all the good XCs yet. Well, there aren't any good XCs anyways, but maybe this thing. Pop a card. I mean, the thing is like, it's kind of hard to get around playing anything besides your own Noble Knight XCs, because these do a lot for you. These are just like, this is probably just a meme to burn someone, I guess. But I definitely do think Direwolf is probably essential. This one is like a maybe. Actually, maybe like Deltaros might be okay. Maybe something like this. Probably something like this. And then, like I had said earlier in the stream, this can be swapped out with Forbidden Lance. Forbidden Lance is better in some situations. For instance, like if you don't want to send your opponent's back row back, and instead you just want to be immune to their back row, that's good. But sometimes what could happen is if you lance your monster and they chain another set card, then it's gone. So that's why I run Hatronade. Okay. So I'll just save it like that, whatever. I don't know. It looks prettier with all these URs. Alright, so on to meta stuff. So right now, I think, actually I'm going to split this up. I'm going to split the stream up. I'm lazy to edit, so I'm going to stop the video and then restart it to make room for another video because I'm lazy. So I'll see you guys in like 10 seconds. Smudge us out. Oh, actually, let me pause the music. There we go. Because I'm a lazy editor and I'm abusing Twitch's uploading prowess to make multiple videos today. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.